Going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the channel, I am your host as always, Rasheed White, and my boy Barrett Burrell, co-host, basketball analyst, football analyst. I mean, it doesn't come any stronger, man. We got him up in here, man. It's going to be a good show. And, of course, the title. Oh, man, say what's up to the fans, man. Derek, sorry, man.
What's going on, brothers, sisters, people, ladies and gentlemen?
Bringing that energy over here, man. All right, so LeBron James calls for the Suns owner Robert Sarver removed from the NBA, and our league definitely got this wrong. I don't believe so. This is going to be, I believe, somewhat of a heated debate between Berg and I. And the NBA, of course, everybody knows, came down. We're late to the party on this one, but they came down $10 million fine, which everybody thinks that's nothing because he's a billionaire. But let me tell you something, man, that hurts. These dudes do not like to lose money, man, especially that much money, regardless of their status.
They don't like to lose money if they can't replenish it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole thing.
All right, so basically, I'm going to give my take on it first, and then I'm going to let Barrett get in there. But basically, he's quoting a Draymond Green quote, using the NIGGA word, you know, I don't want to say it, family-friendly show. And he's just basically saying, hey, why, if Draymond can say it, why can't I say it? So he never really used extreme racism or anything like that. This is nothing compared to the Donald Sterling incident. I think people is actually taking this out of hand. Of course, we've seen Anthony Edwards. He actually made some a homo, you know, some a slur towards you know, you get it towards a gay person. I think it was a homophobic slur. Anthony Edwards is not. I don't see LeBron James saying, "Hey, man, you got to actually let's cancel his contract and let's kick Anthony Edwards out of the NBA." You know, so everybody makes stupid remarks and comments, but all right, Barrett, but take us off, man. You actually think that LeBron James is going too far and Chris Paul's actually going too far, saying that he wants to see him removed, or what?
Everybody wants to see someone removed if they feel like there was inappropriate behavior, inappropriate comments made. I mean, you mentioned Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling was definitely found guilty of the comments he made. And it was an amazing outcry from everyone involved. All the major who's who in basketball, ranging from Magic Johnson on, were calling for his demise, calling for his removal. And it was shirts, and you know how things were going on. It was an amazing outcry. It's not much of an outcry for Sarver's removal, although LeBron James has been critical about doing that. In regards to his comments about the N-word, you know, again, you know, you and I've had this conversation before, and, you know, growing up in certain particular environments, that word was used amongst most people of color. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to go too knee deep in about what's right and what's wrong and what should and should not be said by who say it. But the overall logic on this is that when a person like myself or like yourself, or anyone who grew up in the urban neighborhoods, anyone who was black would always find it offensive when another person outside the race, especially someone who was in a high position as Mr. Sarver, makes a comment and basically has committed to saying the N-word was used. Now, we use the word with the letter A. Okay, we say things amongst ourselves. All right?
But we know, Barrett, that's not a derogatory word in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's not derogatory.
But this is an undocumented word that we can use that would make more sense for people listening. People listening say, what is the big difference? The difference is, unfortunately, I'll just call it the way it is. People outside the black race does not like people saying that word. It's just the way it is.
Well, okay. But the Spanish race, though.
Huh?
I grew up around Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, and they use that word all the time. I don't see black people having an issue with it. And it's really that white. And remember, this is like the hip hop culture over here, man. White people's into this stuff too, man. You know,
they're into it.
We're talking off camera, man. This is ISIS is chopping heads, listening to Meek Mills and Travis Scott.
Yeah, but we can't use the hip hop game to cover up the fact that people like him, John Gruden, and I mentioned to you about John Gruden, who used to coach the Raiders last year. He had to remove himself from the job based on comments that was made in regards to gender and racial comments when he was a member of the Washington Redskins, when they were the Redskins. And whatever happened there, information leaked out, and he was guilty. You can't go away from it. It was an email, and he had to step down. We can't use rap game for that. There's another person of power who has money who made a comment that most people of color will have a problem with. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, in regards to LeBron James's comments, of course, LeBron James is going to be super critical about the punishment, saying that it's not enough, you know, and of course, whatever he's going back and forth with Draymond Green, you know, Draymond Green came out and said, hey, we use the word derogatory. And I agree with Draymond. We do use the word. But it's two different type of spellings. It's two different type of pronunciations.
Yeah, it's two different meanings.
All right.
One is
So it's just,
statement, and the other one is like saying, hey, you're my homie. You know?
Right. But you know what? We still don't know exactly what Mr. Sarver said. It has been quoted as him using the N-word, quote, unquote.
Well, no, he was quoting Draymond, because Draymond uses the NDA. Not the but the A.
Well, whatever happened during interviews, Mr. Sarver admitted that he had made a comment.
Yeah.
Take it from there.
Yeah.
So whether you look at it,
CP3 is not asking for a step down. He's saying that this stuff shouldn't happen again. So CP3 is not getting as extreme as LeBron James. I think Chris Paul has a little bit more of a head on his shoulder and understand, like, hey, this is not the Donald Sterling incident. And $10 million. Listen, y'all guys go watch Shark Tank, man. I mean, you watch Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary. These guys are worth billions of dollars. And then go see how they haggle over little $5,000 or $10,000, man. These guys do not like to lose money. They don't like to lose money. $10 million. You'll see them buy an extravagant home, but that home is actually gaining value in a sense.
Okay, let me just go ahead and just remind everybody why Sarver is being asked to step down for the year. Sarver is being accused of an ESPN article that was put out in 2021. Because this is not new news. This is old news. That's being stepped out now because the information leaked. Like I told you on the off screen, watch this go down and there'll be more dominoes to fall. Because if I'm getting hit with this at a later date, you can be quite certain there are other people of position in the NBA that have made comments that have not been leaked yet. Watch for that to happen. But he's been suspended or being accused of racism, sexism, and bullying.
Yeah, and then I was looking at that, and then there was no complaints made to the NBA, at the time this actually happened. That this actually happened over here. There was really no complaint that was actually made. So why is it being made now? On me?
Mm-hmm. No, it's being made now. Like I told you, it's these dominoes. Like I told you about the football coach with the Raiders. That happened years ago.
Yeah,
years ago, and the information leaked out. So this is what you got to expect moving forward. Sarver's probably like, okay, if I'm going to take a hit, I'm going to start dropping down on others. All right, this is expected to happen real soon. In regards, and meant to mention, Sarver does own the Phoenix Mercury as well. Okay, he owns both Phoenix teams. So, I
mean, from what I see, for the complaints is this goofball stuff. I mean, just goofy stuff at a party, at a Christmas party, just getting drunk, acting stupid. I mean, just college frat boy stuff, man. I mean, that's, and then this is the statement from Adam Silver. The situations were dramatically different, comparing the Donald Sterling was blatant racism, and I believe Adam Silver on this, man. He's a very highly intelligent guy. He's not
okay. But you better read between what Adam Silver said when he got quoted yesterday by saying, "Look, he has the ability to levy the 1 year, $10 million fine. However, he going on to say that this was a lot more serious than what we can levy, and what he is saying in layman's terms, if he had more power, he would have probably pushed for Sarver's demise completely away from the NBA."
Yeah.
You better listen and read between what Adam Silver's saying. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So let's make sure we're clear about that. But also, you got to understand, he was found for using the N-word at least 5 different occasions, amongst other transgressions, and nearly 2 decades of ownership. 5 different times in the 10 years of ownership. But this is starting to drop out right now. So these are the important facts right now. And whether or not LeBron James has a problem with what was levied, he has to understand that Adam Silver works for the owners. Absolutely. And Adam Silver is going by the letter of the law, the letter of the contracts. All I could do was hand out a 1-year suspension and $10 million fine. But I think this is more egregious and serious than what we are able to lend out in regards to punishment to Mr. Sarver. Simple as that. If Silver had more flexibility, more levity, believe me, it'd have been more severe. In fact, they'd have been calling for his head. But it's not like it happened with Sterling. No NBA players walking out there saying, I'm not reporting to a game anymore, starting to wear shirts. I'm not going to play for this guy anymore, if and all. The only person having a real major problem with this is LeBron James. Right now.
People are calling him out on it, man. Pan. I'm looking at these Twitter comments over here. People ain't buying it, man. They call him a hypocrite. Him with that cop situation. Remember, he called out the cop that actually saved that teenage girl's life. He called out that cop.
Right.
Yeah, LeBron James is full of shit, man. You know, just one of the biggest hypocrites. I mean, probably the next Al Sharpton in a sense, though, man. Just
well, this is exactly what he said. He said, based on this, he said, I read through the Sarver stories a few times now. I got to be honest. Our league definitely got this wrong. I don't need to explain why. Y'all read the stories and decide for yourself. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There is no place in this league for that kind of behavior. I love this league, and I deeply respect our leadership, but this isn't right.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, that's our comments. We went over. This is supposed to be a 7-8 minute video. We went 12 minutes in, man. But listen, when the information, just this good conversation over here, man. It's a lot to dissect.
Yeah, it is. It's going to go away soon, like everything else does.
NBA is slow right now, man. There's nothing really going down. I wonder if this came out in like, the first month of the season. Let's say opening night of the NBA, you had, let's say, Minnesota and Golden State facing off, man. You think this will be a big deal? I don't think so, man.
Well, it's a big deal to most people. It really is. I mean, there's always going to be people that will take this seriously. I mean, I've gone through this as long. I can't. I guess I've gone through this as long as I can stretch my arms, and you can never get too used to it, but nor surprised by it. So if this is the severity of what's going to happen to Mr. Sarver, then it's going to be what it be, But anyway, let's move on.
All right, man. We'll wrap this video up. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, certainly share this video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you, and Barrick will donate 20% of his paycheck if you actually do that, man. If you made it to the end of the video over here, man. If you make it to the end over here, let me not even say that, man.
Right.
P&B Bach. And I want LeBron James to talk about the black on black murders. That's what I forgot to mention. Like, write some notes down. These black on black murders are crazy out here, man. Crazy. Ain't the white man doing it to you, man. It's us, our people doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't roll with that comment too far. But anyway. Good show. All right, guys.
Peace out.
Peace.